Hey there my peeps, I'm here with another WWE Payback prediction game video. It's Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm trying to put out these Payback prediction game videos as quick as possible so you guys can check them out before the actual pay-per-view. So, yeah. Anyways, Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler, World Heavyweight Championship match. Dolph Ziggler's first World Heavyweight Championship defense. And he won the championship before Extreme Rules. He won it the night right after WrestleMania. And since then, he hasn't had a title defense. So, this was going to be his first. But, the thing is, you know, he did get the concussion. So, that is the reason why, or that is the reason behind this being his first title defense, or his first title defense being so late. And, Del Rio's rematch also being so late. So, if you guys missed part 1 of the John Cena vs. Ryback prediction game video where I stated my predictions for every single matchup, I chose Dolph Ziggler as the winner of this matchup. Now, why did I pick Ziggler? It's kind of like John Cena, where I think it's way too soon for him to lose the championship. He hasn't done anything since winning the title. Hasn't done much because of the concussion. He hasn't been given the opportunity to do much or have you know, a bunch of matches as a world champion. And him cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Del Rio just so Del Rio can beat him right after in the rematch doesn't make too much sense to me. He's held the Money in the Bank briefcase for a while. He held it for a while, for a long time, and then finally cashed it in to a big pop despite being a heel. And Del Rio then beats him for the championship. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I really don't think that's gonna happen. And the match really hasn't gotten enough, I guess, hype, or the build hasn't been too strong for this matchup for a title change to happen. I know, once again, that is because of Dolph's concussion. Pretty much, the build to this matchup is Del Rio facing off against Biggie Langston every single week on Raw, SmackDown, and I think one time on Main Event. And them exchanging victories. Biggie Langston beating Del Rio first, then Del Rio beats Langston in a rematch, and then Biggie beats him, or Del Rio beats him again. Back and forth. It was just Biggie Langston versus Dolph Ziggler, while Biggie Langston versus Del Rio, while Dolph Ziggler was absent. And that pretty much sums up the build for this matchup. And then finally Ziggler came back on Raw, but he cut a promo interrupting Chris Jericho, not Del Rio. Then Biggie Langston faced off against Chris Jericho. And, of course, Del Rio came down the ring and pushed Dolph Ziggler, who was at ringside. Then on SmackDown, they finally had a matchup, a tag team match. It was Chris Jericho and Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler and Biggie Langston, I believe. And Del Rio ended up beating Dolph Ziggler, pinning him with a roll-up. Now, that to me pretty much gave me you know, the indication. If I wasn't already sure that Dolph Ziggler was going to retain, that right there showed me that Dolph will indeed win this Sunday. You know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you should know that most of the time when somebody has the momentum going into the pay-per-view, I'm going to go with that person that doesn't have the momentum. Now, this is not always the case, since I am going with AJ in the Divas Championship match. But for most matches, that is the case, including this one. And as far as this feud, you know, continuing on after Payback, I could see it happen, but I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping Dolph Ziggler moves on to another opponent, defends the title against somebody else. I don't really mind who it is. It could be Sheamus, it can be Randy Orton, it can be whoever. But I don't think I want to see Dolph Ziggler versus Del Rio once again for the World Heavyweight Championship. I want to see something new. I want to see Dolph feud with somebody else. But then when you think about it, the next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank, and the pay-per-view after that is SummerSlam. And SummerSlam seems like either the best pay-per-view, not the best, but a good pay-per-view for the first match in a new feud, or the last match to end a feud like Randy versus Christian. Their SummerSlam match was a great match, despite the fact that I was disappointed that Christian lost. it was a great match where Randy finally pretty much ended the feud between Christian and won the World Heavyweight Championship. Yeah, they did have a rematch down the line, but the feud was pretty much over. So at SummerSlam, I can't really see the Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler feud continuing on until SummerSlam where they end it. I'm thinking SummerSlam, Dolph Ziggler is going to be feuding with somebody else, and they're going to be having their first match for the World Heavyweight Championship at that event. And going back to Payback, I've already predicted that AJ is going to walk out with the Divas Championship. So, I also think Dolph is going to retain the title, so that way you have Dolph Ziggler with the World Heavyweight Championship and AJ with the Divas Championship. Something that I predicted a while back, although I also thought Biggie Langston would be holding championship gold like the United States Championship, but Dean Ambrose is currently holding that championship, and I can't see Biggie Langston versus Dean Ambrose unless Biggie Langston turns face anytime soon, but then he wouldn't be with Dolph Ziggler and AJ, I would think. So anyways, that is pretty much it for my detailed prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, you can click that like button down below. I'd really appreciate it. With that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.